One of the most fun ways to get started on memory narratives is to have memory jolting, which creating a neighborhood map can do for writers. So I'm going to take you through how to get yourself to a neighborhood map. So first I want you to think back to your neighborhood that you grew up in. And if it's too hard to think about, or if it's too long ago and all those memories have left your head, don't worry about it. Think about the neighborhood that you live in right now. Okay, try to picture that in your mind. I want to make sure that you have a piece of paper and a pencil or pen to start doing some rough sketching of your neighborhood. I will wait. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw out your neighborhood. You want to include spots where there might be a memory or a story that you might have. This is just a quick time lapse of me drawing out my neighborhood. So there it is for you. Back in Wisconsin. Mom and Dad still live in that same house. There is my neighborhood map. Real rough. Let me tell you, I'm not an artist. Okay. Now, here are some examples of some story spots that I have.
So I'll just talk about a couple of these points. So my room was in the front of the house and only had the one window. My sister's room was the room on the corner, so she actually had two windows, one on each side of the wall. I was so jealous of her. I had this hideous yellow carpeting with rainbow house wallpaper in my room, and my little sister had this green, kind of lettuce colored carpet with Sesame Street wallpaper, and I was always like, I wish I had Sesame Street wallpaper. And let's see, the McLaughlins that lived across the street had a set of triplets that were my sister's age, and so they were really good friends. And then the oldest McLaughlin was my age, but we never really got along. We all played together and had neighborhood night games, like we played Kick the Can, and my house was usually the place where the can would go. So Don and Doreen were our next door neighbors, and if we were ever getting home before my parents, who worked, we would always just go to Don and Doreen's house because Doreen was usually home earlier than my family. This weird guy lived in this street, and then down Pine, if we were to keep going, was my elementary school, and you could. We always walked. We walked to elementary school. My bully lived over here. But these are just some of the stories. I have several stories. There's a story in my backyard where we had this clubhouse. Several stories over at my friend Lisa's house. Several blocks away was my friend Scott. There's stories over there. One night I woke up and heard something outside, and I didn't know what it was, and woke up and all the trees in my yard had been toilet papered, so that would be a story that I have, because I totally missed that. So I have several stories that I could write about within these different places in my neighborhood.
So now what I want you to do is I want you to take some time and draw your own neighborhood map, all right? Your goal is to include at least 10 story spots in your neighborhood, so 10 of those little X's where there might be a story, there's a little memory there for you. If you want to really push the bar and get that opportunity to earn 10 out of 10, you want to have symbols for each story. So for example, I would have a little moon where my nighttime Kick the Can games took place on my map. And then I'd have a key that explains the symbols in at least 3 words. All right? So you're going to draw your neighborhood map. And then what you're going to do is when you're finished drawing your map out, you're going to choose one of the story spaces on your map. It should be a memory that really stands out for you, one that you remember just a bit more clearly. Okay? You have that story. What I want you to do is close your eyes. And I want you to think about that memory. I want you to think about what did it sound like taking place in that memory? What sounds were in the air? What could you feel around you, under your feet, under your fingertips. Who was with you? What did it smell like? Was there fresh cut grass? Were you in a forest? Could you smell that sappy, rainy dankness? But really think about that memory. Really, really want you to think about those specific details that you can include within this next assignment. You're going to type your story that you just visualized, and your goal today is to get at least 6 descriptive sentences about your spot on the map. All right?